Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
I've got an awesome husband. Yet when I'm around my friends, I don't brag on him too much because I don't want them to get dissatisfied with their husbands. Mine's really 1 in a million. Just imagine how Mrs. Noah felt. She literally got the only godly man on earth. Over the generations recorded in Genesis 5, people got worse and worse. With the exception of Enoch, Noah's great-grandfather, we don't hear anything good about anyone. And by Genesis 6:5, God had it. It says, "Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man who I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and bird of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord." When I read that it says every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually, wow, I have to think, I'm so glad God found a but. But God saved one for himself. Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Not necessarily because he was good, but because he believed in God, his creator, and he obeyed, as we'll see later in the chapter. Noah was still listening when the rest of his generation had tuned God out. So what was Noah like? God describes him in verse 9. Noah was a righteous man, the only blameless person living on earth at the time, and he walked in close fellowship with God. He was godly, a man of integrity, the only one in his whole generation. He lived by God's standards, not the world's. He was blameless, set apart from the wicked, violent, corrupt people around him. How lonely he must have been. Those around him might have thought he was a nut, but they couldn't find anything else to accuse him of. And like his great-grandfather Enoch, he walked with God. The rest of the world, however, God saw as evil and getting worse with every generation. Imagine Noah and Mrs. Noah trying to raise their sons in that kind of environment, trying to find godly wives for them. Now, if Noah could be righteous in his culture, if he could walk with God amid the wickedness and violence of his day, being the only one who did, couldn't we, surrounded by godly friends, our church family, our Bible study friends, and God's Word, can't we live righteously in our culture today? Can't we be that bright pinprick of light in the darkness for the Lord? Recently, I visited the Oregon coast. I met a lot of people there. They all seem really nice, but I will have to say it's the first time I've ever been offered hard cider or a joint. Though I saw the darkness and lostness of the culture, I also saw a pinprick of light in a small church I visited. That's what we all should be. A pinprick of light, penetrating a dark world, walking with God, reflecting His light. How would God describe you as He looks down on our generation? Not compared to our generation, but in our generation. How can we better live by God's standards and walk with Him so that we can be that pinprick of light in the darkness around us?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.